Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are delighted to welcome you to the first International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies 2022. A very warm welcome to those of you who are present here at Whiz Point Simatupang, Jakarta, and those who are watching from our YouTube UT-TV. I'm Nisrina Triksi, the MC for today's conference. Ladies and gentlemen, for a brief moment, let us sing Indonesia National Anthem, Indonesia Raya. Please all rise. You may all be seated. Before we start, I would like to greet the Honorable Rector of Universitas Terbuka, Professor Ojat Darojat Embus, PhD, who is with us virtually today to Zoom meeting. The Honorable Head of Institute of Research and Community Service of Universitas Terbuka, Dr. Randa Dewi Artati Padmoputri, MA, PhD. The Honorable Head of Research and Scientific Center of Research Institutions and Community Service of Universitas Terbuka, Dr. Eti Puji Lestari, SE, MSI. The Honorable Head of Indonesia Cyber Institute, Professor Dr. Paulina Panden, MLS. The Honorable Deans of Universitas Terbuka who are with us today. And our distinguished speakers, Dr. Peter Juma Oching, good morning. And Professor Insinyur Muhammad Arsyad, SP, MSI, PhD, and also Professor Muhammad Aslam bin Gulam Hasan, who is with us virtually through Zoom meeting as well. And last but not least, our moderators, presenters, participants, and all of our distinguished speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference is organized by the Scientific Research Center, or Pusat Penelitian Keilmuan, Institute of Research and Community Services of Universitas Terbuka, which brings together academicians and professionals from a variety of academic fields and disciplines to discuss current local and global issues and also propose solutions. It delivers the opportunity to exchange knowledge and information, build professional or research relationships, and connect international partners for future collaboration. The topic of the conference today is contemporary issues in multidisciplinary research. The scope includes business and management, social sciences, education, and science and technology. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me first to read the agenda for today. Our first agenda is the opening ceremony, followed by our next one, which is the keynote speaker. The third agenda is the plenary session, which will be led by our moderator and will be followed by the parallel session. Last but not least, we have the closing ceremony. Well, distinguished guests, presenters, participants, ladies and gentlemen, let us now begin the conference. As the host of today's conference, we will hear a report from the chairman of the organizing committee, Bapak Erman Arif Eskom MMSI. Bapak Erman, the time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Good morning. Welcome to the first International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies 2022. Distinguished guests, keynote speaker Prof. Muhammad Aslam bin Gulam from University of Malaysia, and Dr. Peter Juma Ocheng, Obide University, Hungary. Prof. Dr. Paulina Panen, MLS, Universitas Terbuka, Indonesia. Prof. Insinyur Muhammad Arsyad, SPM, SI, PhD, Universitas Hasanuddin, Indonesia. Deputies, Head of Senate, Universitas Terbuka, Deans, Institute Head Office and Unit Heads, Director of UT all over Indonesia, presenter and participant of ICOMUS 2022, students studies of Universitas Terbuka. Distinguished guests, as the head of ICOMUS Committee of the Research Center of the Institute of Research and Community Service, I would like to extend my warmest welcome to all guests and attendants of the conference. This is the first international conference we have held on contemporary issues in multidisciplinary research. This conference is being held via two methods. The on-site conference at Grand Whiz Poins Simatupang Hotel, Jakarta, and the online conference through the Universitas YouTube channel UTTV. Therefore, allow me to welcome both online and offline participants. We are extremely grateful for all the support given by Universitas Terbuka, especially to the rector and all colleagues contribute at this conference. On behalf of the committee, allow me to extend my gratitude. As one the higher education institution developing science and technology, all lecturers of Universitas Terbuka are obligated to focus their research them on 5 major fields which have been determined by governance, green economy, blue economy, digital economy, tourism, and health independence. Additionally, relates to the downstream of the research product, the lecture must emphasize involving industrial partner as early as possible, so that the research agenda at the university will be relevant to the industry and society needs. To support the research focus, the committee of the first international conference on multidisciplinary academic studies 2002, choose them of contemporary issues as multidisciplinary research, which are categorized into forces. The first, business and management, and 2, social business, 3, education, and 4, science and technology. Distinguished guests, at this conference, we will carry out in-depth discussion with all the keynote speakers from University Malaya, Malaysia, Buddha University from Hungary, Universitas Hasanuddin, Indonesia, and Universitas Terbuka, Indonesia. Later in the afternoon, we will conduct parallel session with 112 presenters presenting their scientific article at the conference location. The chosen paper present might be published on request in reputable international journal or accredited national journal. Distinguished guests, we are looking forward to having scientific discussion with all the keynote speaker, presenter, and participant. I would like to thank all the committee member and colleagues for all the hard work and dedication that has made this event is possible. May this conference be productive and assist us all with the future endeavor. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Bapak Herman, for the report. Now we're going to listen to the welcoming remark delivered by the head of Institute of Research and Community Service of Universitas Terbuka, Dr. Anda Dewi Artati Padmo Putri, MA PhD. To Dr. Anda Dewi Artati Padmo, the floor is yours.
Selamat pagi, good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Honorable Rector of Universitas Terbuka, Professor Ojat Darojat, MBus PhD, who is joining us via online, virtually, Vice Rector and Deans of University Terbuka, and our esteemed guests, the keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Pauline MLS, Director of ICE Institute, Professor Muhammad Aslam bin Hulam Hassan, Professor from Malaya University, Dr. Peter Juma Oching from Buddha University, Budapest, Hungary, Professor Insinyur Muhammad Arsyad, SPMSE PhD, Professor from Hasanuddin University, and distinguished guest, presenter and participant of the ICOMUS 2022 Universitas Terbuka. We are very pleased to welcome you all at the First International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies, or we call it ICOMUS 2022, both directly and online. The international conference is the annual conference held by Universitas Terbuka in supporting and implementing the research and publication. As the institution that focuses on the field of research and publication, the Institute of Research and Community Services gives room to its academic members to take part in research and publication. One of the research programs coordinated by the Science Center provides opportunity for lecturers and instructors in open higher education to conduct research every year. This is the embodiment of the vision and mission of the Institute of Research and Community Services, which is to improve the productivity of scientific publication in qualified national and international journals, and to attain intellectual property right, as well as to improve the research collaboration and dedication to society with national and international institutes. This is the basic idea underlying of the event of the International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies 2022. We hope that the ICOMUS can motivate all the participants to publish their research previously conducted. The first conference held by the Institute of Research and Community Services has taken the theme of the contemporary issue in the multidisciplinary research. This topic has been chosen considering that the Institute of Research and Community Services focuses not only on one single science, but also multidiscipline science from various study programs. Multidiscipline has become the trademark of the ICOMUS in relation to the mission of the Institute of Research and Community Services of Universitas Terbuka, which is improving the collaboration of research and publication by academic members inside and outside Universitas Terbuka. Through ICOMUS, we do hope that all of academic members having an interest in collaboration research will contribute a significant influence toward the result of research and improve the number of publications. Distinguished guests, we believe that this conference will become the medium for us to share our thoughts and develop new ideas. Last but not least, we would like to extend our gratitude and appreciation to the ICOMUS committee members that have worked hard in making this event come true. We wish you all a very pleasant and productive conference. Selamat pagi dan selamat mengikuti conference.
Thank you, Thank you, Bu Dewi, for the warm welcome. Distinguished guests, presenters, participants, ladies and gentlemen, now we will listen to the opening remarks which will be delivered by Director of Universitas Terbuka, Professor Ojat Darojat Embus, PhD, who is present with us virtually through Zoom meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Ojat Darojat.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. To our respected guests, the keynote speakers, Professor Muhammad Aslam bin Gulam Hasan from University Malaya, Malaysia, then Dr. Peter Juma.
Recording in progress.
From Obuda University, Hungary, and Ibu Profesor Purna Panen from Universitas Terbuka Indonesia, then Profesor Insinyur Muhammad Arsyad, PhD, from Universitas Hasanuddin, Indonesia. To my colleagues from UT, Vice Rectors, Head of Senate, Deans, Head of Unit, and all directors, served all of Indonesia, and then also my spare regards to all friends in Institute for Research and Community Services, Ibu Dewi Padmo, and also Pak Herman, as the chair of the organizing committee for this conference, all lecturers and students of Universitas Terbuka, and to all presenters and participants of the first ICOMUS 2022. First and foremost, let us praise to the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for his blessing so that we all could meet in person and also online at the first international conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies 2022 with a topic of contemporary issues in multidisciplinary research. Distinguished colleagues and guests, the advancements of the technology in civilizations has an impact on the complexity of the issues which are multi-sectoral and related to one another. Therefore, such complex issues can no longer be solved with a single discipline. Rather, they require a combination of various disciplines and approaches. Decentralized to research activities, they need multidisciplinary approaches to gather a broader spectrum of research benefits. A multidisciplinary approach is an attempt to integrate various points of view in solving problems. And multidisciplinary problem solving can only be done through collaborations. Moreover, collaborating and developing research networking must have basic competencies for researchers. Collaborations and networking, both in national and global level, will become the norm in working performance and research for professionalisms so that researchers can grow and flourish in the international community. Therefore, with this conference, we hope that Universitas Terbuka can facilitate a forum for academics and professionals from different fields and academic disciplines to discuss recent local as well as global issues, identify solutions, provide opportunities to exchange knowledge and information, develop professional or research relations, and connect international partners for future collaborations. Attendance: the International Conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies 2022 is a major forum for researchers to produce research based on various international expertise and experience, and to improve the quality of publications in order to achieve the key performance index of the university. So, ICOMUS 2022 is the first series of conference held by Institute of Research and Community Services Universitas Terbuka. This conference presents keynote speakers who will be sharing their knowledge and experience as well as patience and inspirations in the effort of developing research. At this international seminar, the committee also invites lecturers, students, and general public audience to present the research. The selected paper will be published in national or international journals that have collaborated with us. I mean with UT. I hope that ICOMUS will become an annual agenda in the future, resulting in a very brilliant thought to overcome national problems, especially in the field of scientific research. So, distinguished guests, I would like to extend my gratitude to the Research Center of the Institute of Research and Community Services, UT, for organizing the first international conference on Multidisciplinary Academic Studies 2022. I also want to express my appreciation to all participating lecturers from various universities. Hopefully, through this event, we can synergize our effort to develop our research activities in the future. and for bright future. Moreover, allow me also to convey my appreciation and pride to all Terbuka lecturers participating in this international conference. I do hope that there will become more lecturers participating in the next future. Please enjoy the conference. May Allah the Almighty bless us. Finally, by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I declare that the first international conference on multidisciplinary academic studies 2022 is officially open. Wallahu muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Professor Ojat Darojat, for the opening remark. Now we would continue our schedule to the next agenda, that is to hear the keynote speech which will be delivered by Professor Dr. Paulina Panen, MLS, the head of the Indonesia Cyber Education Institute of Universitas Terbuka. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Paulina Panen.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Allow me to deliver my speech or presentation in English for everyone here. First of all, Honorable Professor Ojat, thank you very much for the opening remarks, which is highlighting what is the multidisciplinary research actually. And to Ibu Dewi Patmo, as the head of the Institute for Research and Community Services, allow me to congratulate for the very wonderful, the first conference of ICOMUS. Please give her a big applause. Of course, Ibu Dewi and the team, yeah. But multidisciplinary research is very, what do you call, sometimes people call it very vague, and not everybody really understand what is the situation, what is the principles of multidisciplinary research. Although in everyday life, I believe we are doing it, not research, but in the operation, in our action, in our activities, we are doing a multidisciplinary approach. However, when it comes to multidisciplinary research, it is usually very vague and very difficult. Why it is difficult? Because, even doing research on our own is difficult, not to mention if we are supposed to be collaborating with various distinguished speakers like today. We are honored to have my colleague from Universitas Malaya, Universitas Buddha, and also Universitas Hasanuddin. Welcome to the club. Ladies and gentlemen, by definition, actually, it is what we in Bahasa Indonesia we call it beda-beda tipis. Yeah. Everything is beda-beda tipis. No? Doesn't work? Okay, this one. If you see the term multidisciplinary research, you can also confuse it with cross-discipline, interdiscipline, transdiscipline, and everything else. Okay, so that's why I call it beda-beda tipis. It's a very slim or slight difference among the terminology, and people usually just put it together and use it as they like it. Okay, it's no problem actually, because the picture over here try to provide what you call a kind of distinction. Actually, the distinction among the this is how to put. The distinction among these concepts actually revolves on the area of the degree of collaboration, how you collaborate among each other, and then also cross-fertilization among the disciplines, whether 3 disciplines or 4 disciplines become one, or each discipline can stand on its own, but solving one problem, that's the difference actually. So yes, it is very slim and tight differences, or beda-beda tipis. Yeah? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, multidisciplinary research is characterized by multi, means separate but working toward each other, or we call it convergent. Okay, it is not separated as on its own, but it's working toward each other. So the first definition was provided, saying that it is an investigation or inquiry to a problem for ascertaining the hypothesis combining many academic approaches. That's why we have the, what they call, the, not the quantitative, not the qualitative. What is the Creswell? Remember? Anybody remember the book by Creswell? Mixed method, yes. That is why the mixed method is emerging at that time. Yeah? Combining many academic approaches, fields, or methods involving a combination of several disciplines and methods, or a number of fields are involved in a certain line of inquiry which is specific to a problem. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, many people, many disciplines work together towards solving a problem, but they are still separate. They are still standing on their own discipline. The other thing is, there is another definition saying that a technique of research in which the tools of different sciences, this is also the what we call the underlying principles when the mixed method is coming around. The tools of different sciences and disciplines are utilized to find an explanation to the issue under study. And the next, the definition provides us with a saying that a pursuit of truth with the help of numerous specialized branches of learning which aims at achieving a common aims with the aid of multidisciplinary research of knowledge of other disciplines. Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps by now you have heard a lot of collaboration, a lot of various disciplines, etc. So there is condition for multidisciplinary research to be taking place. One is that you have to have a member of the researchers which have different skills and background. If it is only one skills and background, then it is not a multidisciplinary research. They come from different disciplines, working independently, so one project can be viewed from different disciplines, but they are still working differently, they are still working independently. I would say an example will be a study on the user behavior of library. A library in the university. User behavior. Is it a psychology? Is it a sociology? Is it a user interaction with the machine, because library now is online mostly, then you have already 3 disciplines: sociology, psychology, human interaction, that is UI UX right now. They call it, it's under the Faculty of Computer Science usually. And then there is also system design, how the user interact with the system. There is also a discipline of the library science itself. So even if it is only how Ibu Dewi come to the library and use the resources there is multidisciplinary view on that behavior. So even that is a single simple action of our life. So that's one example. And then the other thing, the condition of multidisciplinary research is that you have different viewpoints of the team members which shall complement to each other, not arguing with each other. What happened to us is that we argue a lot with each other, right? So that we cannot come up with one solution. We said that, oh, in economy it's like this, and the other one saying, oh, in sociology it's different, etc., etc. But we are not coming together into one solution. We are standing on our own as if our own discipline is the best to solve the problem. So that's multidisciplinary research. You have to come together, although we are different. That's the beauty, actually, of multidisciplinary research. It is said that multidisciplinary research can only be fruitful and result-oriented if there is coordination. So it means that there is going to be a leader coming out of the team. It is not only the team, there is going to be a leader within the team. The assistance and mutual agreement among various experts. And then, because the nature and attribute of the issue prompted for multidisciplinaries, for each solution stresses all these cardinal canons. They are sine qua non for success. So, collaboration, leadership, differences, put it together, they are the characteristic of multidisciplinary research. If you can say why, what's wrong with this? Can somebody help me? Oh, okay. The key is actually what we have understood as soft skills that is supposed to be provided or trained to our students, whether it is school students, school children, or higher education students. That is collaboration, teamwork, leadership, tolerance of differences and ambiguity, and selflessness. Those are the soft skills we have already mentioned everywhere that education should handle or manage or also teach students with this kind of soft skills instead of only hard skill. But I don't know, according to me, we are seldom practicing in our research those soft skills. Ladies and gentlemen, why do we need multidisciplinary research? There are a lot of reasons. Prof. Ojat just now have already mentioned several, and Ibu Dewi also mentioned several. I would suggest, you can read this later on, I would go into the final, the final box, the gray box. No discipline can be sufficient or complete in itself. That's my belief. I'm an educational technologist, and I don't think I will be able to walk alone. I will need also someone from IT, for example, information technology. I will also need someone from psychology, from education, from economy, and also from the macro perspective, the analysis of the policy in one country or one region regarding educational technology. So I cannot walk alone. That is my belief, and I believe that is the essence of multidisciplinary research. Let's come to see what happened in Indonesia. Actually, Indonesia is very lucky because Indonesia is among the first country who has what we call KKNI, Indonesia National Qualification Framework. It's already 14 years old. It is written in every curriculum in all study programs in Indonesia. But whether it is practiced to the heart of it, I don't know. Ya, Pak Muhammad Arsad, I don't know. We need to evaluate, and it will need a multidisciplinary research. Let's see level 6. Level 6, oops, sorry. How can I do this? Can you go back? Back. Doesn't work, the back? Oh, okay. Level 6. Level 6 is the first level of higher education, a degree granting higher education study program that is of equal to bachelor, or we call it in Indonesia is sarjana. If you take a look at the sarjana competency as the level 6 competency, they don't have any mention about multidisciplinary. They mention only how one graduates can perform based on whatever their discipline is, solving the problems using all the principles that they have studied. So our bachelor's degree in Indonesia is for sure a monodiscipline person. I have a great concern about this because to what I know, to what I feel, to what I believe, that multidisciplinary, being able to collaborate, to do teamwork, to tolerate differences and ambiguity, to be leaders, needs to be acquired by anybody at as early as possible. So even in the level 6, there should be actually a multidisciplinary approach. There should be a multidisciplinary research orientation provided to our graduates. So they will not be saying that, okay, because I'm graduating from English teaching, I will be the best in English teaching, and not you, not everybody else. No. That's not what happened in our community in the field. So please, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at level 6. There is no mention about multidiscipline there. However, about level 7, it is specifically mentioned about monodisciplinary. Level 7 is for profession. Yes, I can understand if you are a profession, for example, if you are a teacher, you are not supposed to be also economist. You are not supposed to be also mathematician. You are a teacher of mathematics. So you have to have your own identity as a profession. That I can understand. But for bachelor, actually it's supposed to be a generic, general education where everybody is multidiscipline, has some multidiscipline perspective. We go into level 8 and level 9. Everything there is said that multidiscipline. This is also a big concern for me, because to what I know, if I'm following the Bologna or the Humboldt University principles, Humboldtian principles, doctoral program is supposed to be very narrow and specific instead of multidisciplinary. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is only one example. Yes, this is the policy from our government and we follow that. However, if we can be critical enough and be solution giver, let us do a multidisciplinary research on this and provide solution to our government, perhaps policy brief, saying that there should be a new policy regarding this. Because I would like to see in doctoral level, for example, someone who is very focused on developing the innovation and the technology in Indonesia. However, they may have skills because in level 6 they have done it, in level 8 they have done it, multidisciplinary perspective. So that's one aspect that we can do together. Ibu Dewi, perhaps it will be good if it is coming from Universitas Terbuka. The other thing is that in Indonesia right now, we are experiencing transformation in teaching and learning, especially in higher education. I'm not going to dig out about the schooling level, but we are talking about the higher education. First of all, it's the MBKM, Merdeka Belajar Kampus Merdeka, or in my own word, it is Freedom Learning, Freedom Campus. In Mas Menteri's terminology, it is Emancipated Learning, Emancipated Campus. That is kind of fake for me. So I prefer Freedom Learning, Freedom Campus. It's easier. It will give a possibility, a chance, an opportunity for students to go outside of their study program, outside of their university, to take activities, whatever they want, within the 8 category. There are research projects, there are independent studies, there are virtual students exchange, there are teaching in the schools, there are many other internship in the industry, etc. So it is a kind of saying that, hey, go out of your discipline, feel something different, and experience the multidisciplinary situation. Because when you go outside of your boundary of the study program, it means you are going outside of your discipline. That is the essence of MBKM. And our ministry believe that if you go out, then you experience something different, it will enhance you. It will give you value added. For example, ladies and gentlemen, there's one thing. In ICE Institute, my institute, we offer what we call micro-credentials on game developer. Game is, entertainment. It's for children. No, actually it's not. Then suddenly, the students coming from history saying that, Ibu Paulina, why should I go into the game developer program? I said, how can you make history to be very interesting to our nation and beyond? You do through game, because millennial students right now are very much into gaming. So you can use that for telling about our history. Why the medical science doctor needs to do something with gaming? Well, there are a lot of games actually for health and medicines. If you want to teach children not to be afraid of the doctor, for example, not to be afraid of getting shot, for example, they can use games. So games is for everybody. It is multidiscipline. what is inside the gaming process actually is just thinking like, the algorithm, system thinking, design thinking, and also being creative. So that's one example of how MBKM can work for us, can work for entertaining the multidisciplinary approach. The other thing is the student-centered learning. It means allowing students to choose, pick, and pluck, we call it right now, whatever method they like, whatever evaluation or assessment they feel comfortable with, and what kind of materials they would like to study first instead of in sequence. So that's another thing which also has the underlying multidisciplinary approach. The other one is project-based learning. Of course, project-based learning cannot be done. Once again, I cannot walk alone in solving the project. Technology-based learning, you need to be able to know your disciplines, plus also your technology. I'm not good in Facebook, for example, but my son is good in Facebook, so we work together, we collaborate. Even the teacher and the students can collaborate, putting one website, one metaverse together. So it is not only, it has to be the teacher, the leader, no, we can work together. That is disciplinary approach, multidisciplinary approach, and it is collaboration. Entrepreneurship, of course, this is one subject that I'm very afraid of because I'm not good at entrepreneurship. You have to think about what is the possibility, what is the interest of the people so that we can intervene, okay? And what is the economic aspect of that, etc., etc. I said, I got confused on this. So, ladies and gentlemen, if it is only me, I won't be able to go into entrepreneurship at all. But if we are together, we can do something together. And then the other thing is that human literacy. Human literacy is the new literacy that is coming because of the Industrial Revolution 4.0. What is human literacy? Actually, those soft skills that we mentioned just now, the underlying principles or skills for multidisciplinary research. Collaboration, teamwork, leadership, and then tolerance of ambiguity and differences, and a lot of others. Then the other thing is that we all are aware about Sustainable Development Goal, where we have to predict, for example, if we Ibu Dewi just now in the meeting room mentioned to us that please don't leave your water bottle half empty, then you just leave it like that. Please take it with you. Why? Because water is actually the treasure for the future. Water is not only for me, but for everybody and for our next generation. So if we can save the water now, if we can think that we save the water, don't waste the water just because we have a lot of water right now in Indonesia, but please do not waste it because we have to think our future generation may need the water and they may not be in the luxury like us today. So ladies and gentlemen, my PowerPoint has other information about the transdisciplinary and interdisciplinary, but I don't think that will be a topic of today. So I will just end my presentation at this point and very heartily request to all of us that we can do something for Indonesia through the multidisciplinary research under the guidance and the coordination of Universitas Terbuka, Institute for Research, and community services. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful seminar.
Thank you, Professor Paulina Panen, for the speech. And please kindly stay on the stage because we would like to present a ceremonial gift as a token of appreciation for sharing your expertise in this session. And to present the ceremonial gift, we would like to invite the Head of Institute of Research and Community Service of Universitas Terbuka, Ibu Dewi Artati Padmoputri, MA, PhD. Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue to our next agenda, we would have a 10-minute coffee break. So please return to your seat in 10 minutes and enjoy your coffee and tea. Thank you.
Terbuka. Universitas Terbuka, or UT, is the 45th State University of Indonesia, launched on September 4, 1984. The head office is located at Pondok Cabe, South Tangerang, and is spread over 16 hectares. As the central university campus, Universitas Terbuka emphasizes the importance of professional concept and advanced technology, while at the same time preserving green spaces and a natural environment. As a pioneer and innovator of distance higher education, Universitas Terbuka has 39 regional offices throughout Indonesia, and one dedicated for students living overseas. The adoption of a flexible learning system allows UT students to learn wherever they are and whenever it suits them. UT provides learning opportunities for all individuals to higher education. Universitas Terbuka provides high-speed broadband and dedicated workstations for its staff in order to serve its students in Indonesia and across the globe. UT's head office is composed of several main units. These are the Information Communication Technology Unit. This is responsible for information and communication technology management, which involves network management systems and application development information, as well as communication technology. The Multimedia Development Center is responsible for content development for teaching through creating imagery, animation, audio, video production, and more. The Learning Material Distribution Center is responsible for managing all the daily activities of a centralized distribution center and warehouse. The library is responsible for the development, selection, and maintenance of the learning material collection, and the ordering, processing, and cataloging of all library materials. The Examination Center is responsible for the organization and administration of examinations. The Rectorate building contains the offices of the Rector and Vice-Rectors. The Bureau of Finance, General Affairs and Partnership is responsible for carrying out financial affairs and the university's planning, administration and management. The Bureau of Student Administration and Planning takes care of academic and administrative services, including a contact center that serves the needs of students. The core teaching and learning functions of the university are conducted through 4 faculties. These faculties offer diploma, bachelor, master, and doctoral programs. These faculties are the Faculty of Economics, the Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, the Faculty of Science and Technology, and the Faculty of Education and Teacher Training. At present, Universitas Terbuka has a student body of just over 350,000 from every corner of Indonesia and more than 50 other countries. Universitas Terbuka, making higher education open to all.
The fast-growing demands of digital era motivates us to continue improving the potential of integrated human resources that are capable to support productivity. This vast and rapid development needs an effective and modern learning solution that can keep up with the routines of today's society. A facility that can cope with the limitations of space and time. For many people, both limitations pose as major problems in developing themselves and enhancing their career in digital era. In the end, those problems will impact their lifestyle. Universitas Terbuka is here to answer those problems by applying an open and distance learning system. A system that has proven effective in increasing the coverage and equal distribution of excellent higher education for all elements of society. Our system allows students to have a flexible and open learning method, and it offers many advantages. First one is the registration period, which is open throughout the year, so no more worry about late registration. Flexible space, time, and place. This is useful for students who still want to develop their knowledge wherever and whenever they want. Easily access printed and digital teaching materials in all corners of Indonesia and other countries. Our system gives opportunity to people from all groups and ages to learn and develop their knowledge, as well as their skills in all fields. With 39 regional offices all across Indonesia and overseas service centers, we are always ready to support operational activities and cooperations with various national and international institutions. We have numerous facilities to support student activities and learning process, from UT Radio, UT TV, learning assistance, to online library. Universitas Terbuka offers you 4 credible faculties: Faculty of Education and Teacher Training, Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, Faculty of Economics, and Faculty of Science and Technology. With more than 35 study programs and postgraduate programs. Universitas Terbuka, making higher education open to all.
Welcome to Universitas Terbuka. Universitas Terbuka, or UT, is the 45th State University of Indonesia, launched on September 4, 1984. The head office is located at Pondok Cabe, South Tangerang, and is spread over 16 hectares. As the central university campus, Universitas Terbuka emphasizes the importance of professional concept and advanced technology, while at the same time preserving green spaces and a natural environment. As a pioneer and innovator of distance higher education, Universitas Terbuka has 39 regional offices throughout Indonesia, and 1 dedicated for students living overseas. The adoption of a flexible learning system allows UT students to learn wherever they are and whenever it suits them. UT provides learning opportunities for all individuals to higher education. Universitas Terbuka provides high-speed broadband and dedicated workstations for its staff in order to serve its students in Indonesia and across the globe. UT's head office is composed of several main units. These are the Information Communication Technology Unit. This is responsible for information and communication technology management, which involves network management systems and application development information, as well as communication technology. The Multimedia Development Center is responsible for content development for teaching through creating imagery, animation, audio, video production, and more. The Learning Material Distribution Center is responsible for managing all the daily activities of a centralized distribution center and warehouse. The library is responsible for the development, selection, and maintenance of the learning material collection, and the ordering, processing, and cataloging of all library materials. The Examinations Centre is responsible for the organisation and administration of examinations. The Rectorate building contains the offices of the Rector and Vice-Rectors. The Bureau of Finance, General Affairs and Partnership is responsible for carrying out financial affairs and the University's planning, administration and management. The Bureau of Student Administration and Planning takes care of academic and administrative services, including a contact centre that serves the needs of students. The core teaching and learning functions of the university are conducted through 4 faculties. These faculties offer diploma, bachelor, master and doctoral programs. These faculties are the Faculty of Economics, the Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, the Faculty of Science and Technology, and the Faculty of Education and Teacher Training. At present, Universitas Terbuka has a student body of just over 350,000 from every corner of Indonesia and more than 50 other countries. Universitas Terbuka, making higher education open to all.
The fast-growing demands of digital era motivates us to continue improving the potential of integrated human resources that are capable to support productivity. This vast and rapid development needs an effective and modern learning solution that can keep up with the routines of today's society. A facility that can cope with the limitations of space and time. For many people, both limitations pose as major problems in developing themselves and enhancing their career in digital era. In the end, those problems will impact their lifestyle. Universitas Terbuka is here to answer those problems by applying an open and distance learning system. A system that has proven effective in increasing the coverage and equal distribution of excellent higher education for all elements of society. Our learning system. Our system allows students to have a flexible and open learning method, and it offers many advantages. First one is the registration period, which is open throughout the year, so no more worry about late registration. Flexible space, time, and place. This is useful for students who still want to develop their knowledge wherever and whenever they want. Easily access printed and digital teaching materials in all corners of Indonesia and other countries. Our system gives opportunity to people from all groups and ages to learn and develop their knowledge, as well as their skills in all fields. With 39 regional offices all across Indonesia and overseas service centers, we are always ready to support operational activities and cooperations with various national and international institutions. We have numerous facilities to support student activities and learning process, from UT Radio, UT TV, learning assistance to online library. Universitas Terbuka offers you 4 credible faculties: Faculty of Education and Teacher Training, Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, Faculty of Economics, and Faculty of Science and Technology. With more than 35 study programs and postgraduate programs. Universitas Terbuka, making higher education open to all.
Welcome to Universitas Terbuka. Universitas Terbuka, or UT, is the 45th state university of Indonesia, launched on September 4, 1984. The head office is located at Pondok Cabe, South Tangerang, and is spread over 16 hectares. As the central university campus, Universitas Terbuka emphasizes the importance of professional concept and advanced technology, while at the same time preserving green spaces and a natural environment. As a pioneer and innovator of distance higher education, Universitas Terbuka has 39 regional offices throughout Indonesia, and one dedicated for students living overseas. The adoption of a flexible learning system allows UT students to learn wherever they are and whenever it suits them. UT provides learning opportunities for all individuals to higher education. Universitas Terbuka provides high-speed broadband and dedicated workstations for its staff in order to serve its students in Indonesia and across the globe. UT's head office is composed of several main units. These are the Information Communication Technology Unit. This is responsible for information and communication technology management, which involves network management systems and application development information, as well as communication technology. The Multimedia Development Center is responsible for content development for teaching through creating imagery, animation, audio, video production, and more. The Learning Material Distribution Center is responsible for managing all the daily activities of a centralized distribution center and warehouse. The library is responsible for the development, selection, and maintenance of the learning material collection, and the ordering, processing, and cataloging of all library materials. The Examination Center is responsible for the organization and administration of examinations. The Rectorate building contains the offices of the Rector and Vice-Rectors. The Bureau of Finance, General Affairs and Partnership is responsible for carrying out financial affairs and the university's planning, administration and management. The Bureau of Student Administration and Planning takes care of academic and administrative services, including a contact center that serves the needs of students. The core teaching and learning functions of the university are conducted through 4 faculties. These faculties offer diploma, bachelor, master, and doctoral programs. These faculties are the Faculty of Economics, the Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, the Faculty of Science and Technology, and the Faculty of Education and Teacher Training. At present, Universitas Terbuka has a student body of just over 350,000 from every corner of Indonesia and more than 50 other countries. Universitas Terbuka, making higher education open to all.
The fast-growing demands of digital era motivates us to continue improving the potential of integrated human resources that are capable to support productivity. This vast and rapid development needs an effective and modern learning solution that can keep up with the routines of today's society. A facility that can cope with the limitations of space and time. For many people, both limitations pose as major problems in developing themselves and enhancing their career in digital era. In the end, those problems will impact their lifestyle. Universitas Terbuka is here to answer those problems by applying an open and distance learning system. A system that has proven effective in increasing the coverage and equal distribution of excellent higher education for all elements of society. Our system allows students to have a flexible and open learning method, and it offers many advantages. First one is the registration period, which is open throughout the year, so no more worry about late registration. Flexible space, time, and place. This is useful for students who still want to develop their knowledge wherever and whenever they want. Easily access printed and digital teaching materials in all corners of Indonesia and other countries. Our system gives opportunity to people from all groups and ages to learn and develop their knowledge, as well as their skills in all fields. With 39 regional offices all across Indonesia and overseas service centers, we are always ready to support operational activities and cooperations with various national and international institutions. We have numerous facilities to support student activities and learning process, from UT Radio, UT TV, learning assistance, to online library. Universitas Terbuka offers you 4 credible faculties: Faculty of Education and Teacher Training, Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, Faculty of Economics, and Faculty of Science and Technology. With more than 35 study programs and postgraduate programs. Universitas Terbuka, making higher education open to all.
Welcome to Universitas Terbuka. Universitas Terbuka, or UT, is the 45th State University of Indonesia, launched on September 4, 1984. The head office is located at Pondok Cabe, South Tangerang, and is spread over 16 hectares. As the central university campus, Universitas Terbuka emphasizes the importance of professional concept and advanced technology, while at the same time preserving green spaces and a natural environment. As a pioneer and innovator of distance higher education, Universitas Terbuka has 39 regional offices throughout Indonesia and 1 dedicated for students living overseas. The adoption of a flexible learning system allows UT students to learn wherever they are and whenever it suits them. UT provides learning opportunities for all individuals to higher education. Universitas Terbuka provides high-speed broadband and dedicated workstations for its staff in order to serve its students in Indonesia and across the globe. UT's head office is composed of several main units. These are the Information Communication Technology Unit. This is responsible for information and communication technology management, which involves network management systems and application development information, as well as communication technology. The Multimedia Development Center is responsible for content development for teaching through creating imagery, animation, audio, video production, and more. The Learning Material Distribution Center is responsible for managing all the daily activities of a centralized distribution center and warehouse. The library is responsible for the development, selection, and maintenance of the learning material collection, and the ordering, processing, and cataloging of all library materials. The Examination Centre is responsible for the organisation and administration of examinations. The Rectorate building contains the offices of the Rector and Vice-Rectors. The Bureau of Finance, General Affairs and Partnership is responsible for carrying out financial affairs and the University's planning, administration and management. The Bureau of Student Administration and Planning takes care of academic and administrative services, including a contact centre that serves the needs of students. The core teaching and learning functions of the university are conducted through 4 faculties. These faculties offer diploma, bachelor, master and doctoral programs. These faculties are the Faculty of Economics, the Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, the Faculty of Science and Technology, and the Faculty of Education and Teacher Training. At present, Universitas Terbuka has a student body of just over 350,000 from every corner of Indonesia and more than 50 other countries. Universitas Terbuka, making higher education open to all.
The fast-growing demands of digital era motivates us to continue improving the potential of integrated human resources that are capable to support productivity. This vast and rapid development needs an effective and modern learning solution that can keep up with the routines of today's society. A facility that can cope with the limitations of space and time. For many people, both limitations pose as major problems in developing themselves and enhancing their career in digital era. In the end, those problems will impact their lifestyle. Universitas Terbuka is here to answer those problems by applying an open and distance learning system. A system that has proven effective in increasing the coverage and equal distribution of excellent higher education for all elements of society. Our learning system. Our system allows students to have a flexible and open learning method, and it offers many advantages. First one is the registration period, which is open throughout the year, so no more worry about late registration. Flexible space, time, and place. This is useful for students who still want to develop their knowledge wherever and whenever they want. Easily access printed and digital teaching materials in all corners of Indonesia and other countries. Our system gives opportunity to people from all groups and ages to learn and develop their knowledge, as well as their skills in all fields. With 39 regional offices all across Indonesia and overseas service centers, we are always ready to support operational activities and cooperations with various national and international institutions. We have numerous facilities to support student activities and learning process, from UT Radio, UT TV, learning assistance to online library. Universitas Terbuka offers you 4 credible faculties: Faculty of Education and Teacher Training, Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, Faculty of Economics, and Faculty of Science and Technology. With more than 35 study programs and postgraduate programs. Universitas Terbuka, making higher education open to all.
Welcome to Universitas Terbuka. Universitas Terbuka, or UTE, is the 45th State University of Indonesia, launched on September 4, 1984. The head office is located at Pondok Cabe, South Tangerang, and is spread over 16 hectares. As a central university campus, Universitas Terbuka emphasizes the importance of professional concept and advanced technology, while at the same time preserving green spaces and a natural environment. As a pioneer and innovator of distance higher education, Universitas Terbuka has 39 regional offices throughout Indonesia, and one dedicated for students living overseas. The adoption of a flexible learning system allows UTE students to learn wherever they are and whenever it suits them. UTE provides learning opportunities for all individuals to higher education. Universitas Terbuka provides high-speed broadband and dedicated workstations for its staff in order to serve its students in Indonesia and across the globe. UTE's head office is composed of several main units. These are the Information Communication Technology Unit. This is responsible for information and communication technology management, which involves network management systems and application development information, as well as communication technology. The Multimedia Development Center is responsible for content development for teaching through creating imagery, animation, audio, video production, and more. The Learning Material Distribution Center is responsible for managing all the daily activities of a centralized distribution center and warehouse. The library is responsible for the development, selection, and maintenance of the learning material collection, and the ordering, processing, and cataloging of all library materials. The Examination Center is responsible for the organization and administration of examinations. The Rectorate building contains the offices of the Rector and Vice-Rectors. The Bureau of Finance, General Affairs and Partnership is responsible for carrying out financial affairs and the university's planning, administration and management. The Bureau of Student Administration and Planning takes care of academic and administrative services, including a contact center that serves the needs of students. The core teaching and learning functions of the university are conducted through 4 faculties. These faculties offer diploma, bachelor, master and doctoral programs. These faculties are the Faculty of Economics, the Faculty of Law, Social and Political Sciences, the Faculty of Science and Technology, and the Faculty of Education and Teacher Training. At present, Universitas Terbuka has a student body of just over 350,000 from every corner of Indonesia and more than 50 other countries. Universitas Terbuka, making higher education open to all.
The fast-growing demands of digital era motivates us to continue improving the potential of integrated.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue our conference in a few minutes, so please kindly go back to your seat and we'll soon begin. Distinguished guests, presenters, participants, ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to our next agenda, which is the plenary session. Will be followed by discussion and Q&A session. This session will be led by our moderator, Bapak Fauzi Rahman Kosasi, SSMPD. Before we begin the plenary session, please allow me to read out the CV of our moderator today. Bapak Fauzi is currently a lecturer at the Faculty of Education and Teacher Training of Universitas Terbuka, with a numerous publication closely related to education. Bapak Fauzi is also working with the Indonesia Education Institute, Indonesia Cyber Education Institute. Without any further ado, please welcome Bapak Fauzi Rahman Kosasi, SSMPD.
Thank you, Mbak Triksi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. The Honorable Rector of Universitas Terbuka, Professor Ojat Darojat MBus PhD. The Honorable Head of Institute of Research and Community Service, Ibu Dewi Artati Padmo Putri MA PhD. The Honorable Deans of Faculties and Director of Graduate Program, the Honorable Director of ICE Institute, the Honorable Plenary Speakers. The first one is Dr. Peter Juma Oching from Abu Dhabi University. Please kindly proceed to the stage. And then the second speaker, Professor Insinyur Muhammad Arsad, SP, MSI, PhD from Universitas Hasanuddin, Indonesia. Please also proceed to the stage. And then our third speaker, Professor Muhammad Aslam bin Gulam Hassan from University of Malaya, Malaysia, who is currently joining with us virtually via Zoom. Hello, Prof. Aslam. Are you already with us? Yeah, maybe the committee, please help us to check whether the Professor Aslam, oh yeah, okay, Prof. Aslam has already with us. Okay, it is the sign for us to start the plenary session. Distinguished presenters, participants, and guests, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start. Check. Before we begin, there is a brief information for you all. First, the first speaker will be Dr. Peter, followed by Professor Arshad, and then the third will be Professor Aslam. Each speaker will have 20 minutes for presentation. Question and answer session will be after the third speaker finishes presenting the materials. And for those who want to ask questions, please state your name and institution and to whom the questions will be addressed. It is now my pleasure to welcome the first plenary speaker, Dr. Peter Juma Oching. Is it correct? The last name, Oching? Yes, okay. He is a senior researcher at Biotech Research Center of Abu Dhabi University, Hungary. His research area is around bioinformatics, chemoinformatics, and metabolomics for drug discovery and design. He has published more than 16 publications in different reputable national and international journals. Dr. Peter Juma Oching, it is time for you to present the materials. You have 20 minutes, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Peter Juma Oching. As you can pronounce it, it's as simple as that. I'm going to make a presentation, and it's going to capture the topic of what Professor have just presented, which is multidisciplinary My area of research is in drug discovery and bioinformatics. This will be my presentation. The title of my presentation is An Efficient Weighted Network Centrality Measure Approach to Decipher or to Explore the Mechanism of Actions of Rueller-Hubble Formula in the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis. Maybe you can put it there. You can put the PowerPoints so that's, yes. So this is the outline of my presentation. First of all, I'm going to give a brief background of the studies, and also I'm going to talk about the aim of the study. I'm also going to present you the implementation protocol, then give the major findings of this work, and also I'm going to give the conclusion and recommendation, and then I can open up for questions and discussion. So, this work is based on the principles of network science. It's a discipline in computer science, and it's based on the mathematical concept of the graph theory. So the aim of this study was to come up with a mathematical method that you can use to predict the interactions between the drugs, the genes, and their therapeutic targets. Basically, many research in these areas have used the conventional methods, which we refer to as the Freeman method. This Freeman method is a method that is always used to calculate the network centrality. However, the method is always associated with some limitation, especially when it comes to predicting the accurate targets or the network centrality measures. Therefore, in this work, we have come up with a new formulation, mathematical formulations, for calculating the network centrality. I know most of you are asking, what are these network centrality? I want to give a good example on Facebook. Some of you have friends in Facebook. You may have a friend who always view your status and everything. That friend plays a very important role in your Facebook account. And also, there are friends to your friends. Whenever Professor Pauline comments on, yeah? Lewy, yeah. So when he comments on the online, he's able to see, and his friend is going to see also the same. So it means Professor plays a very important role in that network of yours. So we can classify Professor as a betweenness node, and it can tell us the relationship between Professor, the other professor, and you, because you are all colleagues. Anything he comments is going to. So the principle here also, you want to come up with a mathematical formula that is able to tell us how the drugs interact in your body and which targets are they interacting with. So the ultimate goal here is to understand how the drugs function in your body using mathematics and computer science. That is the main goal of this work. I'm just trying to put it simple like that because it's a multidisciplinary field and it's a very complex mathematics. I wanted to make it as simple as possible so that everybody is able to understand what I'm going to present. Generally, we have 3 network centrality measures approach, which is based on the Freeman's method. That is betweenness centrality, we have closeness centrality, and also we have the degree centrality. Yes, we have those 3 centrality measures. So in this work, we have 2 main problems. We have the bioinformatics problem, which is a technical problem that you're trying to solve using our new technique. And also, we have a medical problem that we are trying to solve. In the bioinformatics aspect, the problem is here, how do we come up with the new techniques that is able to predict the right targets? So it's a computational challenge and it's a computational problem. Because the standard way of calculating it is not efficient, is not accurate. So we have come up with a new mathematical formulations using weighted network centrality approach to solve that problem, which you are going to see with my findings and also when I discuss my results. Another challenge is in medicine. Many people now are suffering from rheumatoid arthritis. All of you, I believe rheumatoid arthritis is one of the major disease here in Indonesia, I'm very sure most people have the problem of joint problem, the swelling of the joints. It's a very common problem. So that has been also a challenge in the medical field. Currently people are using the synthetic drugs, which sometimes we refer to them as the orthodox drugs. We refer to those drugs as the orthodox drugs, or they are chemical drugs. These drugs have side effects. So also the medical practitioners and the pharmacists have tried to come up with some new drugs, alternative drugs, that can be used to treat that disease. And in Indonesia, sometimes I've heard some of you calling it jamu. I think you have come across that, tanaman obat, yeah? We call it like that in Indonesia. So that has been now the current trend in medicine. We want to come up with alternative drug for treating those diseases. So in this work, we are going to integrate the computer science, that is the informatics part of it, and also we are going to include the medical aspect of it. So the aim here is to develop an efficient method for calculating those network centrality measures in order for us to explore how these drugs interact in human body. So we have four implementation steps. First of all is to define a new interconnectivity score. The second one is to come up with a new formulation, mathematical formulations for calculating weighted network centrality measures. And the third one is to come up with a de novo network construction techniques, which include four methods. First of all, we calculate the drug target network, the protein-protein interaction network, the disease target network, and also the imbalance merged network. And finally is to validate those targets, because we must prove if this, whatever we are calculating, is true and is able to cure the disease. So we must validate our method using some techniques, which is enrichment analysis, and also we are going to apply the molecular docking and molecular descriptors analysis. So network, what is this network connectivity? This is what I've been talking about. We have the network there, we have a module. A module is just a group of networks that act or perform specific function. They have a common function. As I was giving an example, if you guys are friends on this Facebook, it means you share common characteristics. That's why 3 of you are friends in the Facebook. The second one is the betweenness. This is the shortest number of paths that grows through a network. So this betweenness plays an important role. As I was giving a good example here, if you have a friend in Facebook, you comment on your friends, his other friends or his friends is going to see your comment because you're a friend to that particular person in the Facebook. So you are playing a very important role in that network, and you may be of someone of importance in that particular social network. And then also we have the shortest path. Shortest path, it is the shortest distance between 2 nodes. For instance, if you have 2 people or 3 people, it is easy for professor to interact with this fellow professor than someone who is at the back there. So the distance between 2 of you is very close. It means there is some relationship. You are sharing a common relationship, as opposed to someone who is very far from you. So also in drug, they usually look at the target. This drug usually interact with the targets in the body or the proteins in the body that plays an important role. That is what is happening here. That is the rationale or the principle behind that. And then also we have the hub. The hub is this particular node in the network that has more connection. Like for example, professor is the head of research institute. I'm quite sure interact with many people. So you can act like a hub in that particular institute. And that one plays a very important role. Without you, no research coordination can take place efficiently. So if you are not at the research center or any administrative work that is supposed to be maybe conducted by you and you are not there, nothing is going to happen. So also in drug discovery, that particular compound that interact with many proteins plays an important role in development of the drug. That is how I can make it as simple as that. Also we have the degree. Degree is the number of connection. I'm also sure, I'm using professor as an example. since he's the head of the research institute, you are connected to other departments. So many departments coordinate with you. Those departments coordinate with you, so it means also you are playing a very important role in that particular network. And the edges, these lines that you see there, we refer to them as relationship. There is a relationship between those nodes. So that also, when you are maybe coordinating with someone else, there is communication between two of you. That's what we refer to as the edge. So in drug design, it is very important to understand those particular properties. We refer to them as the network topologies or the properties, and they explain the interconnectivity in the network. I'm going to brush through this. It's a lot of complex mathematics here, and I believe some of you are computer scientists, and some of you are statisticians and mathematicians. So this is how we calculate interconnectivity. This is how we calculate the interconnectivity. Simply the I stands for the interaction, what I've just explained. That, I wish I could point there. The I stands for, this is the interactions here, the interconnectivity, and these are the degree. Now we want to calculate how do we know the interaction between them. There's a quantitative method of doing that, how to calculate those interactions. So to calculate that, this is the mathematical formulations. Simply this one represents the number of nodes in the network. How many people is professor interacting with in that particular research institution? And then we have also the degree, is the connections, and this is the interaction. So the mathematical formulation is as simple as this. This is algorithm, the presentation. If there is interaction between this individual, it means you give it a score, or alternatively don't give it a score. That is the mathematical concept behind that. And the three network centrality, now we want to apply this concept. We want to apply this concept to calculate this. We want to calculate this using that concept. So these are the three topological properties I've just described. We have the degree centrality, the closeness centrality, and the betweenness centrality. And the dark node here simply represents the proportionality of those nodes. So the bigger the node, the more important in the network. You can relate it to drug. When you have a chemical compound that interacts with many proteins or therapeutic target, it means that compound can be a candidate drug compound. That is the concept here. So this is our new formulation. The formula was designed with a professor, and also I just want to say this work, it has been published in a BMC, Bioinformatics. It is in BMC, Bioinformatics, and this is our innovation here, how to come up with these weights. This is where we have calculated the new weight. The Freeman method uses this. This is the Freeman method of calculation. But you see here, we have come up with another new method that applies some fuzzy concepts to come up with these weighted centrality measures. And then also we come up with a score. This is how it works. And this is the improvement. So overall, if you want to come up with the degree centrality, this is the number of edges. As I've just explained, the number of edges is the number of interactions. So from that interaction, we are able to come up with a weighted centrality, weighted degree centrality measures. Because the traditional one, it usually uses the logics. We give it like 0 or 1, which is not accurate in some cases. So here we are able to come up with a definite method of how to calculate the degree centrality score. So the mathematical formulation of it is this. This is the conventional one from the Freeman method. This is how the weighted closeness centrality. So what is this closeness centrality? It's very important. Also, I may be talking of something maybe it's difficult for you to comprehend or to understand. Closeness centrality is the number of shortest path. It's like between Professor A and Professor B and Professor C. Professor B is closer to Professor A compared to Professor C. Look at it that way. So Professor B acts as a betweenness node. And Professor C, the distance between Professor A and C, Professor B is a betweenness node. The distance between Professor A and Professor C, we call it short path characteristic. It is the shortest path. And it plays a very important role in medicine and in drug discovery. So if we remove Professor B in that network, we get what is known as imbalanced network. There will be distortion. So Professor B is a very important person in this network. Without you, I cannot know what Professor A have already said. So for me to understand, sorry for that, for me to understand what Professor A, the information from Professor A, Professor B must convey to me. And for Professor C to know also, Professor B must convey to C. So you are acting like a bridge node. You are a bridge between these two professors. Look at it like that. And in drug design, it's very important. It's very important in drug design. So the mathematical formulation, this is how we came up with a reduced or an optimal method for calculating that. So if you look at it in terms of the inverse of the distance of the shortest distance and the inverse of the longest distance between the nodes, we are able to come up with this mathematical formulation. This one is a sigma. Sigma is the distance between two nodes, node I and J. You have two nodes, nodes I and J. So when you look at the distance between the two, we can come up with a reduced formula like this, which is based on the shortest distance and also based on the inverse of the shortest distance, the reciprocal of it. So when you come up with this formula, we integrate or we combine all of them. This is our new formula. So instead of calculating all these complex mathematics, you just need to know what is the number of degrees we have. And also, you need to calculate the square root of that. This mathematical equation, you can reduce it to this. So having this, we already have the distance between the two. We are able to come up with this new formulation here. So this is our new method for calculating weighted closeness centrality. There is some complex mathematics. I've tried to reduce it for ease of presentation. So the last one is the weighted, sorry. Oh. Can you put it back to the PowerPoint? You can put the PowerPoint for them to see. Okay, sorry. So weighted degree centrality also, this is how we calculate it. And I've given a classical example of the three professors. And this node plays an important role. We need to calculate the distance now. What is the distance between Professor A and B and Professor C? It plays a very important role. So we come up with a weighted degree centrality measure, and we have two nodes. So Professor B is acting as a bridge node. You are a bridge between the three of you. Without you, we are not able to disseminate information. I'll not know what Professor A have said, Professor C have said, because you convey information on both professors. So all along, I've tried to simplify the mathematics. And as I've just mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, this is a multidisciplinary research, the way Professor put it. We apply pharmacy, medicine, and mathematics and computer science. All of them are here. So my next step is to talk, what is this network pharmacology? Network pharmacology is a new discipline, and I'm very sure some of you have come across it. It is widely practiced in Japan, in Indonesia here, in Singapore, Tanama Nobat. Most of these traditional Chinese medicine, they are using these techniques. Even in COVID, during the COVID, we were able to get the vaccine because of these techniques. They could do computational simulation. I've read so many publications from Indonesia. I've read some from University of Indonesia. Most people are using these techniques. It's a very common technique that they have applied it to come up with the alternative drug for treating COVID-19 or even treating diabetes or rheumatoid arthritis. It's a faster way, because nowadays in drug design, it takes more time to develop a drug. This is the fastest way you can do. So these are the database that were used in this study. First of all, it was we do the extractions of this chemical compound using GCMS techniques, that is gas chromatography combined with mass spectrometry method to get those compounds. The second one, we use the database, for example, the PubChem. We use the chemistry database, ChemSpider, to get the data. And then also, we get the therapeutic database, therapeutic targets from therapeutic database. That is the drug bank, therapeutic target database, and also crystal protein reaction database. We also had the protein interaction data. In other words, these are the database that we used to collect data for this information. But the primary data, which is the chemical compound, they were extracted in the lab. Someone from chemistry and pharmacy did the extraction, separation, and also they did the profiling of those compounds. And then us, like computer scientists, we use those data to develop a new drug. So for simplicity, this is the schematic presentation of what I've been talking about. We have the extraction method from the herbal drugs, herbal herbs, which we call them, you popularly call it like the herbal medicine here. And then we get the chemical compound using the GCMS separation. And then after that, we do what is known as the target fishing. Fishing is like getting something. It's like when you go for fishing expedition. You go there with an intention of getting some fish. Yeah? So we need to get which are these compounds that plays an important role in treating this disease. And then after that, we perform our network pharmacology techniques, which I'm going to discuss next. And then we do what is known as enrichment analysis. In enrichment analysis, we are going to apply the KEG, that is the Kyoto Encyclopedia of Gene and Genome Analysis, and also we are going to use the DAVID database, that is the Diversity Visualization Database, which I'm going to discuss. Let me go so fast because we don't have time. So, what is the network construction? We apply a de novo techniques to construct this network. De novo is an italic word which means from scratch. We construct this network from scratch using our new formulation of weighted centrality measures. So the first thing, you have the hubs. Now don't look at them like the real hub. Look at them in terms of the data. You have the chemical data of that drugs. Because you already done GCMS separation, you have now the chemical compound. This chemical compound, they'll be like your data in your computer science or in the development of this algorithm. And then after that, we're going to have the chemical compound themselves. We call them the SMILE. Those are also part of the data we are going to use here. And we are going also to do genes interaction. We talk of the putative genes. Putative, why do we call them putative? Because we don't know their function. It's like a guesswork. We want to apply our computational method to actually know if these are the correct genes that interact with that disease. Then this also what is conducted in this study is to construct 3 basic networks. We have drug target network, we have the protein-protein interaction network, and also we have drug therapeutic target network, which we refer to as the disease network, as you can see there. And then after that, we combine all the networks to come up with the integrated network, which in this case we call the imbalance network. So all these networks, once we have constructed them, we need to validate those targets. Because we are doing it at de novo, we are doing it blindly, we don't know which are the interacting compounds. So we need to know which compounds are interacting with those particular therapeutic targets, okay? So after that, we do what is known as the validation. We need to validate those network targets because you may have predicted something that is not true. So we need to use computational methods to validate that. And I've just mentioned we use the enrichment analysis and also molecular docking and molecular dynamic. So simulation results. These were our simulation findings or the findings of our drugs. We're able to see that there were around 1,000. There are so many compounds. But out of that, we were able only to find 10 compounds which had high centrality measures. We also had 9 compounds here. We have 10 therapeutic targets with high centrality measured. And we are able to get 15 targets. These are the proteins. These are therapeutic for the disease. These are the proteins that interact with that disease. And these are the chemical compounds that interact with that disease. I hope it is very clear. So for visualization, we are able to look at this. This is how our network looks like. This is the drug target network. So these are the chemical compound. The green one stand for the hubs. Those are the hubs. The red ones are the therapeutic targets, and these are the main hubs. Remember, we have 2 hubs. Hubs Let me give a good example because my research is in this area and most of those research I've done them using Indonesian terms. Suppose we have two herbs. We have ginger, which you guys prefer to eat as jahe, bratawali, it's also herbal compound, okay? So assume we have those two herbs. We have jahe and bratawali. Within that, there are many chemical compounds in it. So we want to know which chemical compound in ginger or jahe or which chemical compound in bratawali that interact with the disease. That is our main intention here. So we can measure that. After measuring that, we are able to identify out of maybe 1,000 compounds inside these two herbs, only 9 plays a very important role in treating the rheumatoid arthritis. And that one is also not accurate in medicine. We need to get like 2 or 3 so that we are able to get specific compound because we usually have adverse effect. So we must get only 2 compounds that can treat because we talk of a single drug, multiple targets. That is the best drug. You have only one drug. It's not important, but it's not good for you to take so many different drugs to treat one disease. So you just need one drug to treat many diseases. And this is the second network. These are the findings. I know it looks like more technical to interpret them, but pharmacists and molecular biologists are able to understand what I'm talking about here. So, also, we have 3 networks here. We have protein-protein interaction network, we have the disease target network, and also we have imbalance merge network because all the compounds, you need to combine them together so that you are able to understand the interaction between the 3. So once we identify those compounds, we need to validate them. So we validate them using enrichment analysis. The enrichment analysis, we use the bubble charts. So this bubble chart tells us what is the functions of those proteins because you may also be targeting wrong proteins. You need to validate if these are the correct proteins that are associated with that disease. So for you to understand that, we apply what is known as Kyoto Encyclopedia of Gene and Genome. Is a database for validating the protein function. So we use Kyoto Encyclopedia of Genes and Genomes, and also we use diversity visualization database. Those are databases for validating the proteins. So that is how we can represent it. For simplicity of publication, we represent it like that, but the data is so voluminous. After that, now we have already validated the protein themselves. Is the chemical compound that you postulated or predicted with your network, are they correct? Are they ones that are associated with that disease? We also need to validate them. And to validate this, we apply a technique known as molecular docking. I believe some of you are doing chemistry, understand what I'm talking about. Molecular docking is whereby you have a molecule. One molecule is known as the receptor, and we have the ligands. So you see if there is interaction between the ligand and the receptor, because the receptor here is the protein that we validate using the Kyoto Encyclopedia of Genes and Genomes and David database. Now we want to see if the chemical compound interact with the two. So I apply the concept of molecular docking and molecular descriptor analysis. In this analysis, we are interested to understand the binding energy between the two molecules, how strong or how firm are combined. Now that I've known Professor A, Professor B, Professor C interact, you are doing a common research project. I want to see if there is a relationship between 3 of you. Why are you guys collaborating with these other people in the other research? So for me to know that, I want to see the relationship between the 2 of you and how intact are you interacting with these other guys. That is, I can pull it as simple as that. So I've already known you are very important. How are you important with these other researchers? That is what you are trying to do here. Now for us to measure that, the importanceness, we measure the energy level using Gibbs energy. Okay? So that is the energy that you can see here. We are presenting using the negative. We present that energy in terms of mole per kilomole per joules. So this is how the binding molecular docking prediction give us this kind of results, and all those results are promising if you are able to interpret them at biochemistry or the pharmacological levels. For visualization purposes, this is what I'm talking about. These are the drug. These are therapeutic targets. This is how these drugs interact with each other. And from this, we are able to see we're able to interpret this based on the surface representation. The blue one means hydrophilic and hydrophobic. We're able to know how these drugs are interacting with the molecule. I put in this one for simplicity purposes. And then there are so many. In this study, we are able to identify 4 targets, 4 drugs that play a very important role in treating rheumatoid arthritis. So these are just visualizations how it looks, how those molecules looks like. So for conclusions, this study, we are able to use this weighted network centrality approach. We are able to discover 22 compounds out of 196, which were predicted. Also, the imbalanced network have revealed that we have 8 important proteins there that can be used to treat arthritis. We identified 10 non-rheumatoid arthritis. Also, we had 15 putative targets. And using gene ontology and Kyoto Encyclopedia of Genes and Genome, that is in pathway analysis, we're able to see most of those compounds were associated with the process of treating rheumatoid arthritis. And then also, the molecular docking simulation reveals that we have 4 important molecules that were able to act as a target for treating that disease. So, in conclusion, also we are able to say that this method is based on in silico approach, and our hypothesis needs to be verified using clinical methods to do that. That is the end of my presentation. It's more of mathematics and informatics. I believe you enjoy it. I know some of them are very technical, but I try to make it as simple as possible by giving example. I'll be waiting for questions in case you need further clarification. Thank you for your time and listening to me.
Well, thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause to Dr. Peter. Thank you very much for a stunning and very interesting presentation, Dr. Peter. And for the question and answer session will be after the third speaker presentation. So please kindly proceed again to the stage. Yeah, what I can summarize from your presentation is that how chemistry, math, and pharmacology, and also computer science as a multidiscipline work together to solve problems or to find any innovation, right? Thank you very much for a very stunning and interesting presentation. Now, I welcome the second speaker of today's conference, Professor Insinyur Muhammad Arsyad, SP, MSI, PhD. He is a professor in agricultural economics and rural development at Universitas Hasanuddin Makassar, Indonesia. Now he is the Secretary General of the Association of Indonesian Science Periodic Editors and also Deputy Chairperson of the Indonesian Agricultural Journal Association. His research interests and publication are focusing on agricultural and rural development issues in globalizing economy. He has published many scientific articles in reputable national and international journals. Prof. Arsyad, you have 20 minutes for presentation, please.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and Honorable Rector of Universitas Terbuka, Professor Ojat, who always promote, as we had today, this international symposium kind of how Universitas Terbuka get high quality of performance indicator of this university. My second thanks going to Ibu Dewi Patmo for his very nice international conference. As a head of Institute for Research and Community Services, this is a very powerful method to have this kind of international symposium. And honestly speaking, that Bu Dewi can do many things which is I cannot do anyway. We just give applause to her for this opportunity. And I'm not going to forget Ibu Eti, yeah, and then coming to Hasanuddin University and asking this possibility, and I said that I will come up. And keynote speaker, Professor Paulina, I really enjoy, Prof, what you did today for us, and a very, very nice objective for multidisciplinary type and compared to those what government did during this way. So to me, this very underlying clearly which kind type we can do now for this Professor Paulina. And also I really thanks to all of the deans of the Universitas Terbuka. Here we have Dean of Faculty of Economy, Ibu Dr. Merani, and also Ibu Dr. Ucu, Dean of Faculty of Education. Also we have here Director of Graduate School, Ibu Siti Soleha, Doctor. And this time also we have Dr. Peter. I met him within 24 hours, and then we make a very hard discussion, and just like he did today, very hard simulation anyway. And your method we can use to calculate how closeness myself to Professor Paulina, Professor Edith, and this kind of thing, which is we need to get this kind of method. And Professor Aslam, University of Malaya, who are virtually coming, and also I'm not forgetting as a head of the committee today, Dr. Herman, Pak Herman Arif, who make us a very nice hospitality. Okay, within 15 minutes more, I just give a kind of promoting multidisciplinary research and publication. Okay, now, as Professor Paulina said, to me, the rationale of why we need multidisciplinary time, because problem varieties. Now we are just like my field in agriculture. We cannot solve the problems only for one single thing. So the problem varieties. Second one is because of we need to decompose complexity. We have too much complexity thing, and we need to decompose by using rationale of multidisciplinary type. Even Professor Paulina said this kind of beda-beda tipis between inter, intra, and multi. But to me, we need to decompose complexity. And third one is, we still have a kind of unclear gap of knowledge among disciplines. So this, I think in your country also having like this situation, right? And then we have objectivity versus subjectivity. Naturally, even Peter said that no single method to counter all of the problems, but think how to increase objectivity and reduce subjectivity. That we can do. Then multidimensionality issues, we cannot avoid. Even also in my field, we cannot just simple take and then single method and doing solve the problems. Then we need increased research impact as say beneficial for the local government and also central government, even our university. Way of doing research needs a variance of viewpoint. Professor Paulina said that, well, there is also type, this one type, and then coming from many disciplines and then talk independently. That could be one of the road to do this one. And expected multidisciplinary purposes, to me, how the impact on science and technology information, just like Peter did now. And how the impact on scientists, we have here a government apply sightness as an indicator or a key performance indicator. And beneficial for central and local governments. Do not forget, to me, as a researcher, doing something for local community. That's very, very important. And we are expecting that we have beneficial for industry, outcome for local community, and prospects for new discourses of science and technology development for global impact recognition. So, as Bu Dewi said today, that we need kind of to push to encourage research and publication to recognize a global impact of production of Universitas Terbuka in this case, right? Let's see this one. What I found is doing a multidisciplinary type of the research can help. This is a case of Hasanuddin University. Then we try to enhance multidisciplinary type, and what I found is, Professor Paulina, multidisciplinary type can help high citation score, meaning we can get research impact highly by doing multidisciplinary type. So this is a kind of a strategy. If you Universitas Terbuka can boast as a necessary condition to get in world-class university, multidisciplinary type should. In other words, yeah, or probably Bu Dewi and Pak Imam can, in my university, just like university, we can push making a scheme of multidisciplinary type of the research and community services. That could be one way to get that one. And multidisciplinary direction should kind of improving quality of multidisciplinary research and publication, because that we measure by using key performance of indicator. Enhancing research to disseminate the result in high impact factor journals mean suitable referencing system inside. That are very important. Encouraging joint multidisciplinary research and publication. What I found in Hasanuddin University, if you are doing joint authorship, joint research collaboration by putting a continental differentiation, country differentiation, university, etc. differentiation, you will get more high impact of that research, meaning sightness. So, Peter said to me, we need more collaboration and then impact, making just like making one paper in which joint publication, your university, Universitas Terbuka, Hasan University, and etc. And you can get very high impact of that. Well, I agree that no single method to solve all of the problems occur in a complex society. But let's have a multidisciplinary approach to this. Because to me, bridging among disciplinary, that strengthening institutional innovation. This is a kind of, this is one of the publications that I did as a multidisciplinary type. You can see the sightness. This one, very high, which is, which color, the sightness? Number of publication, blue one, but number of sightness, that the red one. It means doing multidisciplinary type can boost research impact. This is very important. And then, this I just take from the cited and cited documents. Please see one. Looks like, this I should say looks like, doing multidisciplinary type, producing this one, meaning cited and uncited documents, ratio between cited and uncited documents more high, using multidisciplinary type. But we are using monocyte, this one green, slow and most and slow and slowly, mean your research impact doing monodisciplinary type is by gradually low. So this is the kind of cited and cited documents. Okay. Then findings of multidisciplinary type should, this is a kind of sequencing between findings in multidisciplinary type is necessary. But it is difficult, Professor Paulina, Professor David, doing one project and then everybody coming with different perspective, and then we just lost sequencing between findings. This is a kind of, we need to enhance. how to make a sequence between those people working independently to one object. So in this case, probably interdisciplinary type can be solution at this moment. The sharpness of the articles, that multidisciplinary type crucial factor, very crucial. That the sharpness, we need sharpness of the article. Just like you said last time, we need the kind of. Then we need also important message of each finding should be depicted, because we coming from many field and then independently. How deep is the position of finding solving complex problems? So I saw your presentation as a simulation, a very nice simulation, but should catch how the position of findings for solving a complex problems. Meaning, try to make a simple as a method, but getting more of very nice solution of the problems. Then this is a kind of also findings. Doing instruments as a multidisciplinary type produce looks like as a supporting one, and then you can get very high impact of the research. Technology, just you produce today, closeness score for arts. We need to digitalizing academic works for research impact in multidisciplinary type. So means if you are doing the research, doing publication, and then no impact at all to local communities, central government, our institution, we need effort to have this kind of impact. Then helping novelty track in multidisciplinary type is not easy, because many problem inside. We say this is a complex. So we need to decompose complexity of the problems, just like your picture today, right? Then strengthening supporting instrument as a multimedia and technology will help us to make consistency. That's a very difficult, Professor Paulina, also Professor, to make well, say systematically in writing and publication, if you are doing multidisciplinary type, that are kind of big challenges of the university. And resources, time, energy, that's another value. And one thing is, I think we need, even in multidisciplinary type, to anticipate rejection rate from the journals. Honestly speaking, what I found is, if you have a kind of better did today, using as a methodology, high impact factor journals, they try to abstract the paper that you did. So we need a kind of this one. This one is one of the paper I produced in many countries, I think 8 countries. What I found is, this paper published only 2 or 3 weeks, suddenly there is citation coming. It means doing multidisciplinary type is always giving a good performance. As far as we put the good journal, then we have impact to this research site, and then it will impact to the Universitas Terbuka as a university and also as a country. So to me, we should have a multidisciplinary method to this research. Okay? That is my final note. Promoting multidisciplinary research is needed to solve complex problems, even continental country, university, etc. Enhancing multidisciplinary type to disseminate research results in high impact factor journals. That's a dead one, right? No single method to solve all the problems occur in complex society, naturally. However, multidisciplinary to me is one of the options we can do. The problem is, Professor Paulina, even ourselves as a researcher, as a teacher, also need how to operationalize this kind of type. Try to decompose complexity by using multidisciplinary research type. Even myself as an agriculture economist, I cannot do my research only monodisciplinary type in my field. We need another one.
Okay, this one, second. A need research working group. I agree with this situation and research center that needs a supporting policy of the university, research institute, and the government might be kind of incentive to enhance multidisciplinary type. Now we have a Ministry of Education. So far, we don't have directly say this is multidisciplinary scheme of the research and community services. Probably this is one way to create research scheme, enable people working together in one object but various viewpoints. I think my time is still lost. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let's give a round of applause to Professor Arshad. Thank you very much, Prof, for a very informative and perfect presentation. And I don't have to summarize your presentation because it is very clear enough here. And then it is time for me to welcome the third speaker, who is currently joining with us virtually, Professor Muhammad Aslam bin Gulam Hassan. Are you already with us, Prof? Okay. Okay. Professor Aslam, he is from Department of Economics and Applied Statistics of University of Malaya, Malaysia. His research interests are in the areas of macroeconomics, including monetary and fiscal theory, international finance, regional economic integration, post-Keynesian economics, open macroeconomics, economic development and growth, and international economics, as well as international trade policy. Prof. Aslam, you have 20 minutes for presentation, please. Yeah, please unmute your microphone first, Prof. Aslam. Okay. Can you hear my voice? Okay, the committee, please help Prof. Aslam to unmute the microphone first. Well, maybe you should give the access to unmute the microphone. Prof. Aslam, you can try to unmute the microphone, please. Hello, Prof. Aslam. Okay, we're still trying to reach Prof. Aslam. Hello, Prof. Aslam. Can you hear my voice? I think someone from the committee can okay. Someone from the committee can help me to type in the chat box directly to Prof. Aslam. Send him a message that we are waiting for his presentation. I think there is a technical problem here. Prof. Aslam, can you hear my voice? Yeah, I think someone from the committee can help us to reach Prof. Aslam through the Zoom. Okay. Prof. Aslam, hello. Yeah, audio connection, please. Okay, the committee is still trying to solve. Okay, yes.
Hello, you.
So
ada masalah.
Voice. I think there is a audio problem from Prof. Aslam. Okay. My voice. Yeah, please unmute the microphone, your microphone first, please. Yeah. Okay, and then for the two plenary speakers, please be patient for the question and answer session. We will have the question and answer session after the third speaker finished presenting his material. Okay, let's check again. Prof. Aslam, hello. Assalamualaikum. Yeah, please. Okay, please. Yeah, from. Can you? Computer science. I may ask a
He's a professor. The drug Japan International in US. Final review. Died last year. Breast cancer.
Excellent. And then maybe question to Prof. Prof. Aslam. Hello, Prof. Aslam. We still have.
Then we make framework just as Peter did. Framework each of
Ibu,
looking
ibu bagian ibu kan itu bisik.
and after that we also try to activity with science.
Mungkin masalah saya
Of doing after then we make kind of identification of the objects and
mungkin karena
we
ini
try
isunya
to
kan
systematically and follow it
satu-satu nggak bisa.
of that and do it. So this kind of the research so we do it disciplinary type approach if only having our resources, our means, monodisciplinary. So we did that kind of many people and then giving that the same that's what I did.
Tadi udah keluar kan dari pas dapat. Soalnya pas itu ketiknya kayak kita cuma split suaranya. Sekarang kita
conduct research
sebenarnya udah bisa dicek.
to have bigger and yeah.
But one thing's
Okay, now it is your turn actually to present the materials. Are you ready?
Okay, thanks a
20 minutes
lot.
for you, Prof. Please.
Okay, thanks a lot. I think what's your name? Okay? Can't remember the name. Just okay. Thanks, Mr. Fauzi. I'm sorry there's some technical issue. I'm not sure whether it's from my side or from your side. So I still, when you're on the thing, it's quite noisy. So I was called by, receive email and also WhatsApp or message from Ibu Iti, asked me to deliver a keynote. So since I'm thinking what kind of topic I need to post or to discuss at the conference, the conference on multidisciplinary. So normally all my research I used to different either combine with the economics or I combine with economics and politics, international politics. So roughly you can see it's a multidisciplinary, but one thing is roughly it's a mono, a single approach. But anyhow, since thinking about the topic, so then I asked what kind of topic should I discuss at the conference. So then she told me anything. So then if anything, then I pick up one topic on regional economic integration. There is a comprehensive progressive Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement under the impact on Malaysia. So I think Indonesia is not a member of TPP. Previously called CPTPP, but now it's called TPP 11. TPP 11. So,
excuse me, Prof. Do you
yeah.
have any slide?
Is there? Can post the slide?
Yes, of course. You can share the slide with us so that the audience can see your.
But one thing, how to share the slide? No?
Just click on the green button, the share.
Okay. Because one thing I
choose the file you
usually use Google Meet. Zoom, okay, sure.
Okay.
Just hang on, give me just a few minutes. Japan economics, yeah.
Okay, well, you can go on, Prof.
Just hang on. Just hang on. I'm sorry. Okay, this one. Share the screen. Okay.
Yes, we can see the screen now.
Okay. So this topic is comprehensive and progressive Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, TPP 11, a possible impact on Malaysian economy. So Indonesia is not a member. It's not a member of TPP. So my discussion here break into two parts. One look on TPP and the other one look on the impacts. I just remember the impact. So my analysis, the impact is quite simple. And I did not use any a model. Just I use a simple calculation to look what how the change in trade between Malaysia and the growth of TPP and also with the RCEP. So roughly the earlier TPP between four countries, New Zealand, Singapore, Brunei, Chile, and the agreement in the force to 20 in May 2006, and when Obama became president, so as Obama want to focus on the Asia Pacific and also so one thing in Obama trade policy, so Obama focus on want to create a single bloc, which include a few countries, and also led by America. Therefore, then I think I suspect so. Why I think Obama looks on the TPP. Then therefore I think I don't know, maybe it's Obama seen the TPP between four countries is a valuable things, and also then I think he hijacked TPPA and also he lead the TPP. So since Obama took over TPP or US involved in the TPP, so then he renamed the agreement as a TPPA. But one thing is TPP is very comprehensive agreement, cover market access, non-agriculture market access, then agriculture sector, non-trade barrier service, and so on. There are many things covered under TPPA. So TPPA. But one thing is there are many arguments or many people against on TPP, even not only in case in Malaysia, but also in US also. There are many NGOs and also business association against TPP because why? They are based on their study. TPP may give some negative impact on their business or their investment and others. So and also really give some impact on labor demands. Therefore, since during I think campaign, I think when there's a trial or there's campaign after Obama second term, so campaign then Trump and others. So under Trump campaign, he promised to the people of America that he will pull out US from TPPA. So when Donald Trump became president, in the first week after Trump took power and be in White House, so he wrote the decree that US withdraw or pull out from TPP. So therefore, since US pull out, so only left 11 members. So then the issue is who want to lead the TPPA since US pull out. So the only capable country that can able to lead TPPA is Japan and also Australia. Then when Japan lead the TPPA, so he renamed TPP agreement as a CPTPP or known as TPP 11. So this TPP 11 finalized in March 2018 and entered force on 30 December 2018. 2018. So here, 2018. So in terms roughly, just quickly. So in terms of agreement, most of the commitment linked to the goods, services, procurement, and investment remain unchanged. Got the issue why during the negotiation under TPPA. So the biggest issue is government procurement, and also the other one ISDS. So therefore, what happened when Japan is they make some changes. Because some members don't agree with certain clause of the agreement. So some part of I think not many, but only few clause of the agreement has been removed. So only 20 provision of the TPP has been suspended in the most of the three provisions are mostly linked to intellectual property chapter, and the other one on copyright and so on. And the other part of the there are quite a number of provisions that are still being funded by Brunei, Chile, Malaysia, and Peru until now. These four countries still haven't rectified CPTPPA, including Malaysia. And the biggest issue under TPP is ISDS legal system, which this one which allow foreign investor and corporate to legally challenge country for its violation of investment-linked commitment. So this one the biggest issue. The biggest issue. That's why some countries, for example, in case Malaysia and so on, they are against it. So they roughly I make a table show that which agreement or clause or chapter under TPPA has been revised or been amendment or has been removed, and also some countries still looking either those chapters here they still study the things, either want to proceed or not to proceed. So if let's say the members of a TPP 11 still want those chapters, so maybe the four countries, as I mentioned earlier, Brunei, Chile, Malaysia, and Peru may not join. So the possible impact, now look, just goes we compare. We compare, for example, between how big is TP11 and also RCEP, compared to those things. So look on the total trade of a TPP11 and also the import of those groups. For example, you can look on the first column, for example, export from TPP11 is much lower than RCEP. RCEP. So RCEP, remember, RCEP later I will discuss, touch a bit on RCEP. But on the other one, just look on TPP. TPP where include America. Now this two here, this part and this one and this one with America, this one no America. This one after this one with America and so without America. Then you can see. So most countries rely on American. Yes, I understand the period. Most countries under TPPA rely on America market. America market. So if let's say US pull out, so then the total trade to world drop. That means the size of the group the size of the group shrink. So then compare with the RCEP here. Therefore, RCEP will become an alternative to Malaysia and also Japan and all other members of ASEAN, ASEAN and also with Australia and New Zealand. So this RCEP is show that the size of their trade is quite bigger. Then look on the imports. Same thing also. If let's say US, with US, the size of import is quite large compared to if a group without US. Now we look on the export of total export compared to the first column. The first column is TPP 11 and the other one RCEP here. RCEP. This one without US. So you can see, for example, here export total export here. This one US trade. US trade with the second table here. This table shows that US trade with TPP 11 and RCEP. So US trade with TPP 11 is quite big compared to RCEP. Why RCEP? RCEP. Then also import. So US import quite large from TPP 11 and also RCEP. So remember one thing here. Japan is one of the major trade partner to America. Besides that, Australia and also I think the other one is from Australia. So these two here, you can see how the big size of their trade between US. But with US trade with RCEP is much lower compared to TPP 11 and also the import. Even though there is China there, there's a China there. So here. There was a third table. The third table we look on. So the third table we look on the Japan trade. Japan trade with TPP, TPP 11. So this one Japan trade with members of TPP and also member with RCEP and also member TPPA. So you can see Japan export to their total of the total export to TPP 11 is much lower with TPP, which include America. But on the other hand, Japan trade with RCEP member is quite big. It's quite large. Almost 50% of the Japanese export to the world goes to RCEP. Goes to RCEP. Same thing also with the import here. Import. So with the TPP 11, the percentage are quite low compared to Japan's trade with RCEP. RCEP. So another issue why I present this table, because then China. Look on China trade. China trade to with TPP 11 and RCEP. So with the TPP 11 percentage of China trade with them roughly about less than 20%. But whereas for RCEP, their export to RCEP member is almost between 25% to 30%. Same thing also for import. So Chinese imports import from TPP 11 roughly on average below than 25%. Whereas from RCEP member is almost between 35% to 40%. So it seems that here, these 2 years, later I might discuss a bit, these 2 years show that there's a power play there. A power play between Japan and China. So one thing here, maybe I will talk later on, the power play between these two countries. Japan lead the TPP, but only China then in general, for example, TPP 11 not allowed. I make it sure not allowed China to join. But however, in TPP 11, Japan lead the groups. But whereas in RCEP, there are China there. There are China, Japan, Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and ASEAN. So this one, this the issue between who will configure the group, who will maneuver the group. So based on in terms of politics indicator and also economic indicator, I think there's a competition between China and Japan. These two, which one able to lead? But based on country size, yes, China, and also based on the military, yes, China. But on the other hand, if based on economic power, then should be Japan. Should be Japan. So we can see there. Now look, just move on possible impact. I just quickly possible impact in case of Malaysia, for example. So Malaysia joined the TPP in October 2010 when was Najib Abdul Razak as a Prime Minister. So under Najib promotes the TPP, even though some business sector or business association against it, actually Malay's business chambers against it. But one thing he still Najib still favor TPPA. I'm not sure what made him favor favor TPP. So there's one issue here. Either this come from American side or come from others' opinion. Personally, in my opinion, it is not a wise move to sign any free trade or comprehensive economic partnership with an advanced economy, such example, for instance, as the US, Japan, Germany, or EU. So engaging with those countries, the main question to what they expect, to what extent the country, or in this case, a position to demand. So in case if Malaysia, for example, engage with America, we cannot demand. They determine the price. We have to follow them. Normally in a world market, Malaysia in general is price taker. Right? Price taker. So we cannot demand. The problem is in case of Malaysia, for example, we do not have any competitiveness in the market. So market. And also the other thing also the lacking in case of Malaysia is a product. So a product. We do not have a technology that we can compete with America, compete with Japan, and with even though we are unable to compete with Korea and Singapore. So one thing, and the other thing, and also the other thing also linked with our human capital. Our human capital unable to compete with the US and Japan and also EU. Okay, fine. For example, here I just impose a question here. A question: if let's say we use their technology, but it is not free, we have to pay royalties. So the payment for how long? Normally based on Berne Convention or based on intellectual property law, roughly about 20 years. 20 years. And then the other issue on skilled labor and unskilled labor. So are they able to learn and invent a new product or a new mode of technology based on what they learn? So the question is adaptability. There are many questions need to be asked before we go any FTA negotiation. But in case of Malaysia, for example, the Malaysian government under Najib does not make any comprehensive research. Is Malaysia able to gain or loss from TPPA? So the other one, also the other one here I mentioned also, feasible study need to be carried out intensively, not only at the macro level but also a micro level. So look the impact on the household, firm, farm, labor, competition, and so on. So the main people complain to during Najib during the TPPA. So the government does not do a comprehensive study. So we do not know how much we may gain or how much we may lose. So this one subject that cover, for example here, then the few subject, for example here, I try to example here. So subject subject or agreement or subject linked to commodity sector and trade, which may give some impact on Malaysia. For example, just look here, Malaysia trade with TPP 11 and also RCEP. So from this table here, you can see that, for example, here, Malaysian export to TPP 11 roughly from roughly 30% to 35%, whereas for RCEP is almost more than 50%. Because Japan, China, and also Singapore are Malaysia major trade partner. So if let's say with the TPP which include America, so the export roughly between 40% to 55%. Same thing also goes to imports. So import, for example, here, if we import from TPP 11, roughly from 28% to 35%. But our RCEP is more than, roughly RCEP more than 55%. Same goes to, if let's say, which include US and the TPPA, so the imports are roughly between 32% to 50%, because major trade partner to Malaysia and also Indonesia is America, China, Japan, and also Singapore. Roughly the structure of export or trade in ASEAN are similar, roughly are similar. I straight jump to this roughly the second part, yeah. This one, the issue that's linked to Malaysia, for example, is Malaysia will gain or loss. First thing on market asset and other subject. So you can see, for example, the subject and also the first column on subject, the other one possible impact. So there's an impact. There's an impact on in case of Malaysia. In Malaysia, I might not describe into detail because this is a bit technical stuff. So just jump on the other part here, the other column, and the other one custom. This one trades rules. So then we also look here, for example, I mean, if let's say Malaysia signed the TPP, one thing, the Malaysia government still not enforced yet. So one thing, the Malaysia government need to change rules on custom administration, on trade remedies, either go safeguard, e-commerce, and rule of origin. So the issue here, issue. And also something here. So then the other one here, quickly. So I don't want to spend more time on here. They look on this is roughly structure of Malaysian export. So we can see there. So largely Malaysia depend on trade for growth, and also the major sector that contributed to Malaysia GDP come from or to oil export come from manufacturing industry. And also one thing in case Malaysia, for example, on manufacturing industry, most of the export not come from local firm, but come from foreign firm, multinational corporation. Malaysia was biggest producer.
Me, Aslam.
Yeah.
I think the time is off.
Oh, I see.
5 more minutes, maybe. You have 5 more minutes then.
Okay, sure. Then, so then I just jump to the last column. Power play between China, Japan, RCEP was TPP 11. So RCEP is a form of free trade agreement between ASEAN nation and ASEAN FTA partner. The agreement is between 16 countries, which make up 45% of the world population and roughly contribution of the world GDP in total. India pulled out in 2019 and 19. So now the member left now 15 members of RCEP. I mean ASEAN members, Japan, Korea, China, and Australia and New Zealand. No India. India pull out. So therefore, one thing that RCEP entered the first January 2022 for certain country and the rest, I think the rest, for example, like Vietnam and Korea, will be enforced RCEP in February until last February 2022. So roughly RCEP is on now. But the issue is RCEP will give a gain or will provide a gain or cause a loss to members. So indirectly, for example, here, in my opinion, for example, since China is there, since China is there, since China is there, and so Japan is there, so, and Korea also. So the issue is competition. So is those members able to compete or not to compete? So in this case, we have to look both side competition. So if there is a tough competition, may affect the economic performance and also indirectly may cause some damage to industry, and also may cause, for example, if industry damage, then it may produce, for example, may cause unemployment rate may increase. So this will be the biggest issue. So here, for example, the issue compared to TPP 11 and also RCEP. If, for example, in TPP, there's many, for example, economic, political obstacle. But in RCEP, so those members able to avoid any confrontation between on economic part and also on politics. For example, in challenges that are facing by RCEP in terms of managing different relations among their 50 members, in terms of conflict, historical conflict between China, Japan, and so Korea, Japan, and also some members of Philippines and Japan, and also conflict between China and Philippines, and unsettled territorial dispute between China, Japan, and Korea. For example, China and Japan they have a territorial dispute with the Senkaku Island, and so in case with the ASEAN member is Spratly Island. So significant development gap among ASEAN members that may prevent countries from pursuing aggressive trade liberalization policy, lack of commonality across ASEAN plus one. ASEAN plus one is ASEAN China FTA, and very domestic policy, the lack of domestic support, and concurrent regional integration agenda, which will put pressure on countries' scarce resources of personnel and budget. So the another part of challenge here, this is my last slide. So the issue here on RCEP, TPP 11 led by Japan, also supported by Australia. But on the other hand, as I mentioned earlier, so RCEP, who is leading RCEP? Either China or Japan. Who maneuver RCEP? This issue need to be tackled, need to be discussed, and need to be researched. That's why here I think the approach need to be used is economic and international politics. So maybe some of the members may look try to use an international political approach to look either RCEP is used by China or used by Japan and others. Why this could imply that China is more actively involved in RCEP? Because it cannot remain outside of TPP forever. But remember things, some of the members of TPP are in RCEP. Australia, New Zealand, they are Singapore, Brunei, Malaysia, Japan are in RCEP, except some Latin American countries, Chile, Mexico, and Peru. They are not a member of RCEP. So according to Reuters report, China was studying the possibility of joining TPP negotiation, as I mentioned earlier. So TPP may not accept China as a member. So this may render the RCEP negotiation more complicated. This one, although both RCEP and TPP have a similar objective, they are different in terms of agreed issue and depth of the agreement. If you believe that RCEP commitment is more accessible to the European country, got not many issues. The issue only cover, in case RCEP, only 4 parts. We have a agreement on the goods, services, investment, and certain on the dispute settlement. So, that's so.
Excuse me, Prof. Aslam, 1 more minute, please.
Yeah. In contrast, if China joins TPP, the higher standard agreement may demand more resources from China at the cost of RCEP negotiation. So that is my conclusion here. So, but one thing, I'm sorry because I'm unable to join physically the conference because there are a few issues here, a few issues I'm facing in KL, in campus. So, and also I'm sorry because maybe my topic is not relevant to the conference, but the conference look at multidiscipline. So what I suggested is those want to look on the trade issue, for example, on regional economy integration, try to take two approach. Either try to combine two approach. One on economic approach and combine with international politics. So then we can see. But in reality, signing any FTA agreements is not based on economic entirely. Roughly, it's based on also politics also involved. Either the country is sign or not sign the agreement. For example, like RCEP. RCEP, some member may not willing to sign, but one thing based on economics study may not willing, but one thing based on politics, they have to sign based on politics. Same thing also with Malaysia. Why Malaysia signed TPP 11? It's not because on economic side, but on politics side. Because why? Forcing by America. So there issue there.
Okay.
So I stop here. So I stop. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause to Prof. Aslam. Thank you, Prof. Aslam, for a very informative and interesting presentation about TPP agreement ratification, international trade across nations. Now, it's time for us to start the question and answer session. We have 30 minutes for the Q&A. Please state your name and institution, and then don't forget to mention to whom your question is addressed. Please, for the first session, we will open for the first 3 questions. Please raise your hand. Anyone from the floor want to ask questions to the 3 speakers, please. Well, we have a man, okay, from the right side. Okay, the committee maybe, yes, can help him to have the microphone. Okay, your name, sir, and then institution, and also to whom your question is addressed, please.
Yes, thanks. My name is Dwi Putrantoyo. I come from Faculty Law and Social Politics, Universitas Terbuka, program Administrasi Publik. I question Dr. Peter Juma in Hungary. Because my article about system information management. Any question about your country, Hungary, about system information management, what the e-government in your country? Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Pak Bagio. Your name, sir, I'm sorry.
Mr. Dwi Putranto.
Oh, okay, Pak Putranto. Dwi Putranto. I'm sorry. Thank you for your question, Pak Dwi. And then we still open another 2 questions from the floor. Anyone else want to ask question? Okay, if not, then we Dr. Peter, you can answer the question from Pak Dwi.
So thank you for the question, but I didn't get it clearly. You asked about information system. Information system? Yes. Okay. First of all, I'm in 3 different institutes, and it's information, especially in informatics. And in many cases, the information systems, actually they don't deal with information systems, they deal with informatics. We deal with informatics, and is more of the algorithm designs, things to do with the mechatronics, things to do with the clinical informatics. Yes, that is the major in my institutes. I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself well. I am from Obuda University. I teach in Obuda University in John von Neumann Institute of Informatics. But also I work as a researcher at University of Szeged Institute of Informatics. Have I answered your question? Or maybe I didn't get it clearly? Are you satisfied?
Yeah, satisfied, Pak Putra. Pak Dwi. Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah.
I think
He's answering your question,
Mr.
right?
Dr. Peter, because my country is Law 11 2020 in job creation, Undang-Undang Cipta Kerja. Yes, this is information government digital.
Yes.
I went now your country. This is Hungary about SIM. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we can discuss after the conference. You can discuss one-on-one. Maybe
Okay,
able to
yes.
understand better.
Yeah.
We can discuss after the conference.
Okay, Pak Dwi Putra, you have a very special invitation from Dr. Peter to have a very intense discussion, yeah, on the table while we are having lunch together. Okay, now let's open the question to the floor. Please raise your hand. Yeah, okay, from the front table.
Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Andre Mansyafroni. I came from Faculty of Law and Political Science, Universitas Terbuka. My question is addressed to Dr. Peter. There was a very interesting clustering model that you show us, Dr. Peter. And I would like to know more about this clustering model that you showed to us. I think it's quite similar to SNA. Is that right? Social network analysis. Because we have nodes, tiers, and graphs, and tools like that. And when I follow your presentation, it came through my mind that how similar is this to SNA, and in what way do you use it to target protein in pharmacology? It's just a spark that came into my mind. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Pak Andre, for the question. And then hold on for a moment. I will open for another question. One more question for this session. Anyone want to ask a question? Please, don't be shy. Please, just raise your hand. Okay, I know there are so many questions in your mind. Someone from the back, maybe? Okay, if not, then you can answer the second question from Pak Andre.
First of all, I'm so happy that you are able to follow my presentation, and also I want to say congratulations because you understand about social network analysis. What I want to say is that I'm so happy that you're following my presentation and you understand what I'm talking about. I'm also afraid that maybe no one is understanding this concept. I'm so mesmerized that you are able to understand. And also, you understand about social network analysis. The techniques is the same. The concept is the same. The topology is the same. Instead of applying it in human, I was giving a good example of the three professors, and I was able to also to give a classical example of using a Facebook. You have someone on the Facebook, you are a friend with Professor A, Professor A is a friend to Professor C. So if Professor A responds to your comment on your timeline, Professor C will be able to see because there is some connection. Also, this concept of mine, these techniques, it's not only applicable in medicine, you can apply it in economics. You're able to use it to predict trends. You're able to postulate what will happen to the market in the next 10 years. There is another paper I'm working on using graph rating methods. We are using these methods of network to actually rank item. You can use it for prioritization in economy. You are able to prioritize which resources are supposed to be located in a particular place at what particular time. So social network is a new field which I would really like to encourage most of you if you are doing your research, especially the undergraduate, the master student. You can apply these techniques to look at the relationship between given entities. Okay? So you can apply network science. A new field in data science, you can use it. So it will be my advice to you guys. Try to apply them in your field. Those who are doing library, there is interaction between the library resources, maybe from IT, the library. Also can look at the flow, how books are being read, how being cited. There is this citation network. I think some of you have heard about citation networks. You can look at core citation. Professor here published, his colleague there citing, and then another colleague from a different university cite. So that is like a core citation. There's a model for doing that in graph theory, which is network science. It's a new field and it's a very interesting one. Thank you so much for the question, and I'm happy that you're following my presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Peter. Yeah, and then we still have one, yeah, okay, from the Director of Graduate Program of UT, Bu Dr. Siti Julaiha.
Thank you, Mas Fauzi. The question for Professor Arshad. I'm curious about how the Hasanuddin University to encourage the lecturers to do the multidisciplinary research. I think that's just one question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bu Director. Before Hasanuddin University had many scheme of the research. Oh, say the PDPA, PDU, PD, we have many. But for this 2023, we have only one scheme research in internal budget. We call collaborative fundamental research. So we give a condition that one title of the research should have 7 team members. 7 coming from in study program or in department, that's one. Second one, coming from another study program but still in the faculty. Third one is we have another team member in outside of the faculty, that's 3. We have from outside for the Hasanuddin University, which is we can pick up research center or research board, and also another university, both in Indonesia and outside Indonesia. That we did now. But we will see the impact of this fundamental collaborative research. Is it truly closing to the multidisciplinary type in order to get what research impact and key performance indicators, and also we absorb many researchers who are not really dealing with how to do research and publication. So the kind of we call angka partisipasi dosen dalam peneliti. So we try to increase this one, and then by absorbing those all, and then making inside dunia industri, dunia uji, yeah. And then we are expecting that this kind of fundamental collaborative research will produce many kind of output, but research and publication quality, and then research impact quality. So that we are, we don't know yet which kind, is it this scheme suitable for this pushing, encouraging key performance indicator or not. But let's see, this so Hasanuddin University now only have one research scheme for internal budget. That's well, I don't know, probably Universitas Terbuka can adapt this thing or not, but we are doing in Hasanuddin. Thank you very much, Bu Eti.
Thank you, Prof. Arshad, for the answer. And then, for this session, still, one more question. Yeah, from the back. Okay, someone from the back, maybe. Is there someone from management or economic faculty here? Oh, Prof. Pauline, you have a question? Okay.
Actually, this is not a question, but a request to both of our speakers. Professor Arshad mentioned that if we collaborate, then we can increase the impact factor of our what we call publication. So let us work together. First of all, we would like to see whether or not your statement is true. Correct? That is one multidisciplinary research for itself. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Pauline. Any comment, Prof. Arshad?
Let me give a small comment on behalf of you anyway, because I already talked to him yesterday that we should have at least probably 1 or 2 articles, and then we are writing together as a job publication. And he said he will looking for probably middle up or high impact factor journal, and put together from your university, Universitas Terbuka, and then we tried to test my hypothesis. Is it truly having this kind of thing and then having research? That I support that probably. And then now also I'm looking for a partner outside of Hasanuddin as a necessary condition of this scheme of Hasanuddin. Probably we can ask Universitas Terbuka as a partner inside, and also Buddha University. So in this case, Prof. Paulina, we just give him task how to publish inside by using. He said just give me first the article and then we do it together. Thank you very much, Prof. Paulina.
From Dr. Peter, maybe? Any comment?
Yes, also it will be my pleasure to do a collaborative research, especially publishing in a very high impact factor. I've been preaching this to many people and also to the student that I teach, the master student. I always say, if a research was never published, it was never done. As much as you may do as many research, very good results, you don't publish them in a very high impact factor or international journal. I was just talking to Professor yesterday. At this level, we should not be talking about the national publication. That is out of our scope. As I've seen the slide here, IC University Terbuka is a big university here. So we should not be talking about nationals. Talk about the international, so that people are able to see. When I go back to Hungary, someone will know, oh, there is this university, Universitas Terbuka. It is through me, Universitas Terbuka will be known there. And also, Obuda University and University of Szeged will be known in Indonesia because of my collaboration with you. And in the process, your university is going to be ranked high. You'll be having international students. And also in terms of international ranking, the university will be ranked high. But if we focus on the national publication, only people will know it in Indonesia. No one is going to read your paper outside the Indonesia. That gives a good example why university like Princeton University, Oxford University, Munich University, all those lucrative universities, they are known because they publish at international level, they publish in English. People are able to read those papers and cite them because your papers will only be cited in Indonesia. That is the reason also I'm teaching in Hungary. They use their language there. They're very brilliant people, very good mathematicians there. All these mathematics that you use in physics, like Neumann method, is from my institute. That is why it is known as John von Neumann. Those people who discovered the rockets, it is the same person. He's the one who is the founder of my institute. So, but people don't know because they use their language. Indonesia is a very gifted people. They are very good. The education system is very nice. But people will only read their paper in Indonesia. Nobody will read those papers out there if they are written in Bahasa Indonesia. But if you use English, many people, they are going to read your paper. The universities are going to be ranked very high. And also, lecturers and professors will have very many opportunities going outside there to interact with other scientists. Thank you. That's what I can just give you as an advice. And I'll be much honored to collaborate with you guys. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Professor Paulina, actually, Peter want to say that a research without publication is not a research, right? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Arshad. Then, does it mean that we have a new agreement to conduct a multidisciplinary research next year, Prof? Yes. Well, now I open the second session for the Q&A. No question, no more question. It means that we can have our lunch? Yes, okay. Now, well, considering the time allocation, we've come to the end of the plenary session. I do apologize that we cannot accommodate all of the questions. And I would like to thank the three amazing, distinguished speakers The first one is Dr. Peter, and then Prof. Arshad, and also Prof. Aslam. Thank you very much. Let's give a very round applause to all of them. I'd also like to thank all participants for your active participation. I believe that we all gain more positive knowledge and widen our academic view. With that, I turn the microphone to MC Mbak Trixie, please.
Thank you, Bapak Fauzi, and thank you very much to our speakers and also the moderator for giving such an informative and comprehensive discussion. Please kindly stay on the stage because we would like to present a ceremonial gift as a token of appreciation for sharing your valuable knowledge in this session. And to present the ceremonial gift, we would like to invite the Head of Institute of Research and Community Service of Universitas Terbuka, Ibu Dewi Artati Padmoputri, and also the Head of the Research and Community Service of UT, Dr. Eti Puji Lestari.
Take that jump, you don't fear the fall.
We would also like to invite Professor Dr. Muhammad Imam Farisi, MPD, Prof. Paulina Panen, and also faculty deans of UT and Dr. Siti Julaiha, MA, for the photo session.
When the crowd screams out, screaming your name, I hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay.
Take the pain. I did it all.
Jadi kami di UNES sudah satu.
Sarung BHS sudah.
Distinguished guests, we're going to have another photo session. It would be pleased for us to welcome you to stand up all together so you will be in the picture. we are going to have lunch and prayer break. We will continue our next agenda with the parallel session after the break. However, for the students of Universitas Terbuka, please kindly stay seated as there will be information from the committee. Before that, I would like to invite the VIP guests to leave the room first. I would like to invite the presenters to leave the room and enjoy your lunch. Distinguished guests, please return to this room at 1:30 p.m. Jakarta time, and we will continue with the parallel session. For those who are watching from UT TV, we will be back at 4 p.m. Jakarta time for the closing ceremony. I'm sure you don't want to miss it because there will be announcement for the Best Paper Award. I will see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.